afternoon, good evening, guys. This is Mark. UK share special today. 3 shares have specifically caught my eye for potential swing opportunities. Now, I've been scanning through, while the markets have been quiet, scanning through. I want to see what the fund managers are up to, not care about the mutual funds and the guys who are long only. I'm interested in ones who are purely looking to extract alpha. So the guys who are shorting stock. Because you know what? If you're shorting stocks in a bull market, you've got to have a really good reason to be short that stock. So 3 have caught my eye specifically. Ocado Group. We've talked about Ocado, I think, before in a video. It's one of the more heavily shorted stocks. There's about 18% of the float is short in the UK. 12 hedge funds at least are short over the disclosure amount, which is about 0.5% of their float. And what is more interesting to me is they've been adding throughout August. Not specifically aggressively, but they're adding into this little lift as you come off from 200. You know what? We've popped from 200 to 300 pence a share, which is not an insignificant move. But these guys are still adding to the short. So that's interesting to me. And I know these guys aren't technical analysts. I'm more technical than I'm fundamental. But I'm going to trust that at least 12 hedge funds have analysed the fundamentals and are pretty bearish on the prospects of Ocado relative to its share price. Maybe it's something to do with the PE, maybe it's something to do with something hitting the balance sheet, maybe it's just a longer term thesis. I don't know, I don't really care. So I'm going to try to package that in a way that will benefit me as a short term trader. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at this, I'm going to do some charting analysis on it and think where would I want to get short. At the moment, it's not even a bad level now. It's struggling at this £3 level, but I really want to see, we're in a long term downtrend, but it's quite a broad downtrend as you can see. I'm more interested to see if we can break this trend line here and then get going to the downside there, knowing that there's obviously a fundamental backdrop of weakness there, and then combining it with a technical setup to try and quantify the risk. Or another thing is, if we really get going to the downside, look for a break of that 200. Now this may not happen, it's not going to happen this week, it's probably not going to happen next week, but having it on the longer term list in your notebook and saying, you know what, if Ocado happens to be weak, if this, if that, then maybe I can jump on for a few day move, knowing that these hedge funds are pressing this short, looking for significant weakness. So Ocado on the watch list, definitely interesting stock to watch. Another one is, which is just the crazy one, New Melrose Industries. I don't know, I wasn't familiar with this company, but they actually buy manufacturing companies that are struggling, engineering companies that are struggling, turn them around and sell them. That seems to be their business model. Anyway, what caught my eye is that 27% of the float is short on this, which is huge for the UK. 9 funds, and what's even more interesting is 7 of these guys were aggressively adding to this short position last week. So in other words, we're up at highs here. We've some sort of good news has come out. They've acquired another company, I believe. I had a quick skim through. I don't want to get too involved in it. I'm not that interested in terms of the fundamentals. I'm going to trust that the funds, like I say, are doing their job right and they've got a good feeling on this. But you know what? They're adding aggressively to this. This is definitely on my watch list because this has doubled basically in a month. So I'm watching this. If we get some weakness and we start to roll over, if the buyers run out and we start to roll over, then I'm definitely going to look for that sort of pattern where we get maybe a lot of red days, a little bit of a pullback and push lower. Not specifically looking for my pattern yet, but what I'm doing is bringing them to my attention, or bringing them to your attention as well, sticking them in my notebook, sticking them on my alerts, making sure I'm aware that these potentially could develop into good trades. So that's a really keen stock to look at. Another one to look at is Auto Trader. Now Auto Trader is a funny one because there's only one company short, and it's Crispin Odey's OD Asset Management. Auto Trader, there we go. I've got the code for it. Now, what is interesting to me about Auto Trader is not specifically a massive amount of people short on it, but Odie's short on it and he's been short and continuing to hammer it short. But I know a lot of guys in the car dealer industry, and they say, who have been in it for 20 odd years plus, have got decent size garages, and they say that Auto Trader are killing them. They're expensive, they're overpriced, they don't provide good customer service, and if someone comes along and starts something up which draws in all those customers that Auto Trader have got, Auto Trader are going to the dogs. So that's one to watch. That's interesting. Maybe it's not quite there yet, and it's definitely not ready now, but Crispin only started shorting it. Maybe a few more people will start to realise that this potentially is a struggling industry. So it's on my watch list. Definitely something to look at further down the line, but it's on there anyway. Very, very quickly, guys, WPP today was up on earnings. Definitely going to be watching that. Advertising company, big, thick one to trade. Plenty of volume there. Good day trading stock. Let's see where that closes. Add a couple more for you, but we're running out of time. I'll have a look at those tomorrow. So anyway, Ocado worth keeping an eye on, Auto Trader worth keeping an eye on, and definitely new Melrose Industries. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.